All right, boom, we're live. MMA Complete Podcast, episode number 63. It is September 9th. Fortunately, no fight night this weekend, but there was a good one last weekend. And, of course, we got the two pay-per-views coming up. So, real quick, station identification. You're watching MMA Complete, brought to you by Naked Sports and FansOnlySports.com. Go check out both of those. Also, go check us, our own personal YouTube page out, MMA Complete Podcast on YouTube, and go follow us on Twitter at @complete_MMA. We've been tweeting out a lot. It's a good follow. We've been gaining followers on Twitter. Putting polls out just in time for the UFC pay-per-view, UFC 266, which will be coming live September 25th, one of the best pay-per-views of the year, I think. And then, the next two pay-per-views are also going to be the best, too. So It's a good time to start following us if you haven't already and seeing what we've been doing over on Twitter and, of course, our YouTube page. Tonight's a little different of a podcast. We always start at 8 o'clock. Tonight we're going to 7 o'clock because I'm trying to catch some fucking football tonight.
Yeah. I'm pumped for that. Tom Brady.
I know. NFL's back.
Since we're on the subject,
yeah.
Under over 52.5.
Yep, I got the under. I
got the under as well. Thursday night football. Never high scoring Thursday night football.
Well,
it's always
usually,
they're gonna score a lot. They're gonna score. Nah,
it's usually low scoring because the teams on Thursday have such a small break from Sunday, but they didn't play last Sunday, so
very true. It is
and they have a bye last week. No one played last week.
First game of the season.
But the Buccaneers have probably the best defense in the league, which is why I think the Cowboys, who have one of the best offenses, if Dak is indeed healthy. But it's why I think that, I gave you my prediction. I think it's going to be 24-20. I don't think the Cowboys, they might not even put up 20 against the Bucs defense because it's so good. The Bucs' worst group on their defense is their cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Which is a little worrisome because the Cowboys have Cooper, Lamb, and Gallup. Really good three-headed receiver core. But the fact that they have no tight ends, they really don't have a receiving back. Zeke's all right for a receiving back, but it just means that they're going to be able – if they're coverage, they're just covering those three guys.
Yeah.
You got Blake Jarwin inside. I'm not worried about Blake fucking Jarwin. So, yeah, I think the Bucs – right. I think the Bucs are going to – they're going to handle the Cowboys pretty easily. I think it might be – honestly, it could be a slaughter for the first game of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs win. But anyway, MMA. So last weekend, Darren Till and Derek Brunson brought the house down. It was a rear naked choke in the third round, I believe. Second or third round. Did you watch the fight?
Third.
Did you watch the fight? So
third round.
Brunson fucked him up standing. And then in the third round, he got 2 takedowns in the second. He got a takedown in the third. And then as soon as he took him down in the third, it was over. He got in a back mount. Crushed him. So Darren Till moves down to 1-2 in middleweight.
Yeah, 1-2, yeah.
Derek Brunson now on a 4-fight win streak in middleweight. I believe Brunson is now the number 3 contender in the middleweight division. If I'm not mistaken, he's 4th. Although I honestly could put him above Jared Cannonier. I know Cannonier's got a big fight against Costa. I would, dude. Cannonier's only fight in the last year was a loss against Whitaker.
Tough. Cannonier they should fight.
Well, Cannonier's fighting Costa.
Oh, yeah.
In only a month from now.
All right, who do you got in that fight? That's a good fight.
All right, so Cannonier Costa is. Oh no, it's Costa Vittori.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Who is Cannonier fighting?
That's why I was a little confused.
Cannonier's fighting someone, right?
No, didn't he? He just fought.
He did just fight.
Yeah, he just fought.
Gaslam. He just beat Gaslam. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that. But Gaslam's not even a big name. Like, Cannonier's only win in the last year and a half is Kelvin Gaslam. Derek Brunson beat Kelvin Gaslam, didn't he?
Yeah.
I would be in favor of Brunson going to the top. I believe that Brunson will have a rematch against Adesanya next year for the title. I think Derek Brunson's a really well-rounded fighter, man. I really do. And his last couple fights have proven that, man.
I don't know.
His wrestling is really great, and we've seen that that's Adesanya's biggest weakness. Jan Blachowicz took him down, and Adesanya couldn't do anything. So Derek Brunson has a 5-fight win streak against Elias Theodorou, Ian Heinisch, Edmund Shabazian, Kevin Holland, and now Darren Till. Shabazian and Holland are all right fights. Till's a top 5 fight. So, we know Whitaker is going to be fighting Adesanya. Is Till a
top 5 fight?
Yes.
He was, but he was 1-1 in middleweight.
Right, but he was top 5. And Shabazian was
in
8,
Dana's
and
eyes.
Holland was 10.
In Dana's eyes.
So we know that Whitaker is going to be fighting. We know Whitaker's going to be fighting Adesanya. We know Costa's going to be fighting Vittori.
Yeah.
So does that leave room for Derek Brunson, Jack Hermanson? Oof, that would be a crazy fight. That's two of the best wrestlers, probably the two best wrestlers in the division. We got Marvin Vettori up there too, but Brunson and Hermanson are definitely top three wrestlers in that division.
Yeah, Hermanson, that would be interesting. Derek Brunson might squeeze that out.
I got to be honest with you. I realize the appeal to having Costa versus Vettori as a fight, but both of those guys are both coming off losses to the champ, which means that they're going to need to beat the other and then probably get another victory before they fight again for the championship. Yeah. So I'm not in favor of putting those two against each other right away. You know, like if they could have waited, and I know we've been trying to get Paulo Costa a fight for a while, but Vettori only fought in what, June? Something like that, right? So if he had waited and they put Brunson and Vettori together, that would have been a good fucking fight.
Yeah, but that was Adesanya's. He's gonna fight the champ now, Vettori, obviously.
He just fought the champ.
I know, but you said he fought in June,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Well,
so
obviously he's gonna fight. Obviously he's gonna fight the champ and not wait. You know, and fight a number 4.
Darren Till all the way down to number 8 in the division. Yeah. Darren Till below Sean Strickland in the middleweight division.
Sean Strickland, Jack Hermanson. That is a great fight. Even though I
think
know
Jack Hermanson fucks up Sean Strickland. I'm a big Jack Hermanson fan, though.
Yeah, I know
when he lost to Vettori, I was shocked. Like, I think that was just a bad night for Hermanson because he's so much better than that. Losing a 5-round decision to a guy on 2 weeks' notice, he's so much better than that.
So, I can see that fight. I can see that fight happening in like 2 years.
What's that?
Again, Hermanson.
Vettori.
Maybe like a year and a half at this point.
See,
Hermanson, and you think Hermanson beats him?
I think Hermanson Brunson is a really, really good fight.
It's a really good fight. Sean Strickland is fighting?
Luke Rockhold. And that doesn't do much for him besides get him paid. Like for the rankings wise, I don't think it moves him much more than 1 or 2. Like if he beats Luke Rockhold, do you put him above Marvin Vettori?
No.
I wouldn't. Do you put him above Jack Hermanson? Maybe. Jack Hermanson beat Kevin Holland, I believe was his last victory. Or
you got to move him up at least 1. Where's Luke Rockhold?
Luke Rockhold's not on the list. He hasn't fought in 3 years.
Then yeah. You move him up 1.
Above Jack Hermanson?
Yeah.
Jack Hermanson was the dude. He was like number 3 in the world until he lost to Vettori.
Yeah. But if Sean Strickland comes out of this untouched, unscathed, you make that Jack Hermanson fight with him. Because Sean Strickland will fight in 8 weeks, and Jack Hermanson's definitely ready.
I think, I think if Sean Strickland beats Luke Rockhold, you might be able to put him against Jared Cannonier.
No. Jared Cannonier, he just fought, though. Like,
yeah, but so
he needs time to
Strickland.
rest. Yeah, but Sean Strickland's already fighting again. Like, that's how Sean Strickland is. Like,
Jared Cannonier could do that, too. Especially since it wasn't a bloodbath between Gastelum. Was it a 5-round fight? I think it was a 3-round fight.
Yeah, I mean, if you want.
Speaking of 5 or 3-round fight, did you hear the argument? UFC 268, which is, I believe, November 8th. Co-main event is Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler. We've been talking about that a little bit. We'll be talking about that a lot more. By the way, come check us out for every pay-per-view. We go live 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. for every single UFC pay-per-view, including September 25th, UFC 266, and all the rest.
Hopefully not.
Co-main event for UFC 268 is Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler, and Dana had some backlash against Justin Gaethje because Dana was trying to make it a 5-round fight, and Gaethje said, absolutely not, I'm not doing it. Which
it's interesting.
I would say that's smart. He's going to get paid the same way. Why go 5 rounds when you could? I mean, the 4th and 5th round is where you're most likely to be injured when you don't have to. I mean, Gaethje Chandler should end before 3 rounds is up anyway. So why make it a 5-round fight when it's of no advantageous to you? It's just a bigger booking strategy for the UFC. I get it.
Very smart. I never even thought about it like that.
I get it.
You're just getting, you're not getting paid more for those 2 rounds.
Right. And both of these guys know what their style is. Gaethje certainly is not a decision fighter. Chandler, we haven't seen him go to a decision yet. And I mean, it doesn't seem like, and we didn't see a lot of that in Strikeforce or Bellator. I've been calling this fight out for a while. I think that fight ends in like 2nd or 3rd round anyway.
Who the fuck wins this fight? You know
Gaethje. I got Gaethje. Listen, man,
I got Gaethje too, just because it's the UFC, man. Like,
Justin Gaethje obviously lost to Khabib.
He got knocked out by Oliveira. Who do you think punches harder, Oliveira or Gaethje?
I don't think it's harder. I don't think it's harder. I think it's two completely different striking schemes, though, because you got Oliveira, who's a technical striker, who just came out in the second round, and there was a different circumstance. Chandler thought that Oliveira was rocked, and he wasn't.
He was rocked. What do you mean?
He just came in. He just absolutely came in with reckless abandon.
I know.
He got
saved by the bell.
He did. Whereas you got Gaethje, who will just throw everything he has at you. Gaethje is such a copy in my eyes. I mean, he's not as tall. He doesn't have as big of a length. But to Nate Diaz, like, that's Justin Gaethje.
Yeah. I don't know. He
just puts 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%.
Hey, I'm agreeing. I just think that I think Gaethje has more power than Oliveira, and look what Oliveira did.
I wonder if Chandler tries to take down Gaethje because he saw how big. And I know it's a terrible comparison, but we saw how easy Khabib had it on the ground with Gaethje. So I wonder if Chandler takes him down. That would be very interesting because we saw Oliveira take down Chandler, get him in a rear naked in the first 2 minutes of their fight.
Yeah,
and then Chandler got right out of it and ground and pounded the shit out of Oliveira. So I wonder if Chandler wants to take it to the ground. I don't think so, at least in the first round. I think these guys will stand and bang. Really think these guys will stand and bang. That's one of the fights I'm most looking forward to for the year.
Wow.
Justin Gaethje coming back, one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC. And I mean, Michael Chandler was given the reins very easily. He had I don't want to say an easy knockout against Dan Hooker, but Dan Hooker wasn't ready for Michael Chandler. He just wasn't. Yeah. And then he goes against Charles Oliveira, who he shouldn't have fought for the belt that early, and he's fighting a guy who's not a striker. And he almost wins, but he just gets out of it, so he still looks really good. And now he's fighting a guy who he should be fighting for the first time, I believe.
That dude.
So this is a really good test for Michael Chandler. And we know that Gaethje only has like 2 or 3 fights left. He said it. He's only fighting 2 or 3 more times. He's out.
Yeah.
Gaethje's still 31 years old, still in his prime.
We'll see about that. He might be a coach or something.
That's super interesting fight, man.
Yeah, I don't know who wins that fight.
UFC 268, by the way.
Let's go with Gaethje.
It's not the co-main event anymore, actually, because we didn't talk about it last week, but Rose Namajunas Weili Zhang 2 is now booked for UFC 268.
That's sick.
That's the co-main event. So what's interesting about that, what's really interesting about that is Trevor Whitman, the legendary coach out of Colorado, striking coach, will be in the corner for the last 3 fights of all those fights. Gaethje, Rose Namajunas, Kamaru Usman. Back to back to back.
Fucking sick. That's
kind of crazy.
That's awesome. Who do you got?
For each of them?
Namajunas or Weili Zhang? Listen, I got Rose. I'm just going to say.
I picked Weili Zhang the first time.
I picked Rose, and I actually got it right. I said by knockout.
I picked Weili Zhang.
Put a bet on it too, +8.
I think so.
+8.
I'm not saying this makes an excuse for it. I'm just saying what Weili Zhang said. She said that because her fight, I can't remember what fucking pay-per-view it was though. What pay-per-view was that? Rose and Zhang #1.
I don't know.
Is that like 263? One of those. It was the first pay-per-view that fans were back.
Yeah.
And she said it threw her off. I don't know how much you could put into that because her last fight against Joanna Jędrzejczyk in 2020, that was the fight of the year. It was the fight of the year. Was with fans. It was the last pay-per-view before Corona. So it's not like she had a fight in between that there was no fans that it fucked her up, but she just said that the fans being back fucked her up. I am going to take Weili Zhang right now. I'm not taking her yet. I'm not confirming it, putting my stamp, betting on her yet. But for right now, I'm going to say I think Weili Zhang can beat Rose Namajunas.
I'm going to go with Thug Rose because when you see these opponents, the opponent that wins the second time, is the one that usually wins for the rest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like look at Poirier, McGregor. Nate Diaz won the second time. First time, I mean.
Conor won the second.
Sorry.
Look at George St. Pierre against Matt Hughes.
Yeah, I mean
Look at Stipe against Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, it always happens. It always happens. So I'm gonna go with Rose.
So you think Rose wins the first two, and Wiley Zhang's just out?
Out for now.
Rose Namajunas is a great story, and she's a fan favorite. But Wiley Zhang is a motherfucker, man. She is tough as fuck, and I think she just got caught by the leg kick by Rose. I don't think it'll happen again like that. I think it'll go to a decision next time for sure.
Yeah, but I think that kick is overlooking Rose's striking. Rose's striking is good, man.
Rose's striking is all right. Rose's striking is all right. She's with Trevor Whitman. I get it. Rose is a really good wrestler. She's a great grappler, though. People don't realize that about her, but she took down Joanna Jędrzejczyk the second time, like 3 times, and like kept her on the ground. So grappling, Rose is really good strength. I'm wondering, all right, so you're taking Rose, I'm taking Zhang.
I'm taking Rose.
I'm taking Gaethje.
I'm taking Gaethje.
You're taking Gaethje. Usman or Covington?
Usman.
So you're taking Whitman all 3 fights. You're taking Trevor Whitman all 3 fights. I like
Trevor Whitman. I'm making that the Trevor Whitman bet.
Okay.
So
that's the pod bet. The Trevor Whitman bet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you want.
We still got 3 months, bro. We still got 2 months. We got 2 months.
You got Wiley Zhang. So.
All right. So we just talked about UFC 268. Let's go backwards. Let's talk about UFC 267 now. We got another triple header, two title fights.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Islam Makhachev, Rafael dos Anjos.
Islam Makhachev. I watched him fight the other day. He's not losing.
I'm going to have to take Makhachev too, although I think it's a really good fight. I think it goes to the decision, and I think it's like 29-28. I think Rafael dos Anjos is better standing. I do. And he's capable on the ground. But I think Makhachev has like 2 rounds where he's just on the ground the whole time.
Yeah.
Aljamain Sterling, Petr Yan.
Yan. Don't even think. What are you thinking about? We've already talked about this. Petr Yan.
Oh, man.
You won that fight.
Yeah, I'm going to go Petr Yan.
He won that fight.
Aljo's the better wrestler, but he
didn't even take him down.
He took him down once out of 17 tries. Aljamain Sterling had more strikes landed. He had more strikes thrown. He was winning.
No matter, he was gassed.
He was winning 2 rounds to 1.
He was gassed. He was getting knocked out.
Petr Yan was still going in the 4th. Yeah, I'm going to go Petr Yan. But, good fight. Aljamain Sterling is the paper champ. I firmly believe that. First person ever to win a championship belt via DQ. First time ever. So, he is the paper champ. But, Aljamain Sterling, I do believe, is the 2nd best bantamweight in the world. You got a lot of contenders for that because bantamweight is so tough right now. You got TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen, Jose Aldo, Rob Font. But I think Petr Yan's the best. Aljo is the 2nd best. I think Aljo would beat any of those other guys. I really do. Petr Yan is such a great striker, though, and he has such a great base. He's from fucking Siberia, dude. He's from Siberia. Do you know what it would take for this guy to give
Siberian Tigers?
Jan Blachowicz, Glover Teixeira.
Jan. I like a good story, but it's not going to happen. Just saying.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, man. I think that Jan Blachowicz will tap out to Glover Teixeira. I think Glover Teixeira is going to fuck up Jan Blachowicz in 2 rounds.
We'll see. He's an old man.
He is an old man who's been training. Glover Teixeira got the benefit of having this fight called out like 3 months ago. He's out of camp. You don't see that a lot. Yeah. Jan Blachowicz just got really paid going against Adesanya, going against a guy who's the complete opposite style of Glover Teixeira. He took him down, kept him down with ease. He's not going to do that to Glover Teixeira. He's going to have to box and keep Glover Teixeira off him.
Which he can do.
Which he can do, but it's a total complete... He absolutely has the ability to do it. Jan Blachowicz is one of the best light heavyweights in the world, probably the best as of right now. But Glover Teixeira is not only on a tear.
He is the best. He is the champ.
Right.
He is the
not
best.
only a tear, but he is a fucking amazing grappler, dude. Thiago Santos is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, and Glover Teixeira made him look like Adesanya on the ground. That's how bad it was when he fought him. I got Teixeira. But Jan Blachowicz could knock him out easily. I totally see that.
Yeah.
What else we got for UFC 267? It's a good card. It's a really good card, 267. Khamzat Chimaev, Li Jingliang.
Chimaev,
100%.
Not even.
We got Tai Tuivasa versus Walt Harris. I think I got Tai Tuivasa.
I'm just thinking, Tai Tuivasa was on his last fight on his contract, and he was about to get cut, and now he's won 3 hits in a row.
Mm-hmm. He's still young, too. He's like
Walt
29.
Harris is good, man. It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
And I chose Tai Tuivasa in all 3 of his last fights, so I'm not against the guy at all. But Walt Harris is not no joke.
Oh, my Wi-Fi is shit right now. Huh. That's a bitch.
Yeah, I got Tai Tuivasa.
And then the other main card fight we got 267 is Alexander Volkov versus Marcin Tybura. 2 heavyweight fights, along with 2 championship fights, and Islam Makhachev and Khamzat Chimaev. This is a really good fucking pay-per-view, 267. One of those heavyweight fights is going to be on the undercard.
Chimaev.
I think Alexander Volkov beats Marcin Tybura.
Alexander Volkov. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I agree.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Still talking about UFC 267, and we are going to be talking about UFC 266. We're also going to be talking about Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann, which was the fight night for next week because there is no fight night this week. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching.
Nothing happened.
No, the new fight just got added the last couple weeks. Miesha Tate fights again against Caitlin Vieira on October 16th. Miesha Tate just recently coming back out of retirement. Fought, I can't remember who the girl she fought was. Won in her debut or second debut, we can call it. So she's fighting October 16th. That's a good little fight night main event.
For Holly Holm, right?
She's fighting Caitlin Vieira.
Okay. That's who she fought.
No, she didn't fight Holly Holm the last time. I can't remember who she fought. She fought a girl who was on her last fight ever.
Oh, yeah.
Marlon Rennell. That's who it was.
That wasn't easy.
So let's finish up talking about UFC 267 first. So UFC 267, we talked about the big fights so far. Any new fights added? Yeah, they don't even have all these fights already down. So Ankalaev versus Ozdemir. That's a good fight. Magomed Ankalaev versus Volkan Ozdemir. Volkan Ozdemir hasn't fought in a while. I was wondering where he's been. That's a really good prelim fight, if nothing else. This fight, dude, this card's going to be so stacked.
268.
This is 267.
Oh, okay.
They also got Shamil Gamsatov, who is a light heavyweight that only made his debut 2 fights ago. He's 14-0 though, going against Michael Alexashuk. I believe Alexashuk is still in the top 15 of the rankings.
Interesting.
Is that right? Light heavyweight rankings. Alexashuk just fell out. He was in for the longest time though, so that's a good fight for the prelims as well. UFC 267 really coming together. Any other fights we're missing? Misha Serkinov versus Krzysztof Jotko, fighting in the co-main event of Thiago Santos, Johnny Walker, which will be October 2nd. That's a really, really big fight. Jamie Malarkey fighting as well on that card. I like Jamie Malarkey.
Malarkey. Bunch of malarkey.
Johnny Walker's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage against Thiago Santos.
I like Johnny Walker.
6'5" against 6'2". Johnny Walker's the man. Or at least he was until Corey Anderson finished him.
I like Johnny Walker's 6-inch reach advantage. That's huge. Especially like for his style.
One of the best kickboxers in the UFC right now.
Yeah, he's no joke.
Thiago Santos is definitely on his way out. It sucks to see because he had such a great fight against John Jones, but he tore his ACL, MCL, and PCL against John Jones, and since then hasn't been able to buy a victory. Crazy.
That is crazy.
He had a split decision against John Jones in that shit.
Damn, they don't even have October listings yet on the RA Sportsbook.
UFC 266 is so stacked that Dan Hooker is fighting at like 8:30.
Yeah, but he's not really a big sell.
He isn't. He's kind of a big sell.
No. Might be.
He's top 10 in the lightweight division. I mean,
he is
sell.
top 10.
Yeah.
He is top 10.
I
think to MMA fans he's a big sell, but like
he's not a big sell anywhere else. That I definitely agree with you.
Like if he was to fight in the PFL, you gonna go watch him over there?
I think he would be probably the best lightweight in the PFL.
Yeah.
Probably. He's at least one of the best striking lightweights. All this talk about Rose Namajunas and Wiley Zhang makes me wonder when Joanna's going to come back, man. Joanna's one of the most, if not the most exciting women behind like Shevchenko in the UFC. And she hasn't fought in over a year and a half. Crazy. I thought Joanna would fight Rose for the title next because they have such a rivalry.
That's why Rose is going to win again, and then they're going to fight, and it's going to be even a bigger sell because Rose is a big name, dude.
Yeah.
Somehow she's a big name.
Carla Esparza is up there, too, after she beat Yan Jianan, though. Carla Esparza is a wrestler, so her against Young Jacek might not be the best matchup style if you want to sell the fight, but that would be a really good fight to have, both top 4 women's strawweight.
It's like a good fight on like a big pay-per-view. Get their names out there.
All right. Any big news in MMA?
Daniel Cormier. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead with that. You know more about that than me. I didn't even know what the movie was. I didn't even know.
All right, so
Warrior, is that what
Warrior,
it is?
One of the best mixed martial arts movies ever. If you've never watched it, you absolutely should. You would love this movie. It stars Tom Hardy.
Cool.
You know who Tom Hardy is?
Yeah, I know Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Tom Hardy is all right, so the movie's about 2 brothers. One of them kind of like lived the easy life. He like stayed at home his whole life, married young, is a teacher. And the other guy like moved away with his dad when he was young, went to the army, got kicked out of the army, lives like homeless almost. But they're both really good mixed martial artists.
Okay.
And then a billionaire makes up this middleweight tournament. Like he's going to find out. He just puts on his own tournament. He's like, I want to find out who the toughest guy in the world is.
Okay.
And both of these guys were not supposed to enter, but either someone in their gym got hurt or the guy that was homeless knocked out a guy who was in the tournament. And so they both got added to the tournament.
Brothers?
Brothers.
I think I've seen the end of this movie.
And they both make it to the final, where just as it gets to the final, it comes out like, oh, these 2 are fucking brothers.
Military guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I've seen this.
It's a really, really great movie. And they actually show the fights in the movie. Like, there's good fight scenes that are honestly, you know who Kurt Angle is? He's like a wrestler, WWE guy.
This is also based off a true story?
No, not really. I mean, it's based off Ultimate Fighter 1. Like, that's the only thing you could ever compare it to.
Yeah, like a pride fight. Yeah, I do know who Kurt Angle is.
He's in, it's a really great movie. And I don't know what cable network station is going to be doing it, but they are making a spin-off TV show off this movie, Warrior. And Daniel Cormier will be the star of that TV show. That got announced today, which I think is pretty cool. I would have liked to see, because Warrior, both of these guys, they're kind of known, but this was early in Tom Hardy's career, so he wasn't like a big actor like he is now. So they were like kind of no names, which makes it even better because
makes it even better now.
You don't know that these guys are like the shit. Whereas Daniel Cormier is going to star in this, he's going to be like the best guy. We know that now.
Yeah, no,
it's not like Daniel Cormier is going to fucking.
He has no acting experience, but I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Right. So. That's interesting. I'm sure I'll watch it, but I said that about The Ultimate Fighter too, and I didn't even watch that shit.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, this is gonna be a show. What channel? What cable?
I don't know. I tried looking that up earlier, but Cormier.
What is it, like a series on Netflix or something? Friday Night Lights is back on Netflix. Everybody. So.
Is it?
Yeah. Start watching that. Yeah, not much. Coming from Conor McGregor's corner right now, you know what I mean? I think Nate Diaz.
Tyson Fury came out and was talking a lot of shit the last couple of days.
Yeah, he likes the YouTube fights.
Tyson Fury said that he's going to fight Deontay Wilder on October 9th. Then he's going to go fight in England, which is his home country, for the first time in years. And then he wants to fight Joshua twice next year. He said he wants to fight Joshua in March and summer of next year. He also called him a roided-up bodybuilder poser.
Okay.
So Tyson Fury's putting out what he wants to fight for the next 4 years. Or the next 2.5 years, basically, what it was.
I need this. My knee needs to pop.
Tyson Fury seems very confident that he's going to fuck up Deontay Wilder.
Jake Paul and his brother, Tommy, have been chatting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they should honestly do that from the Paul's perspective. Because fuck, man, like, if you're Jake Paul, just keep fighting people that aren't good at boxing, just so you can build up this name. You just keep getting paid. Because the second you lose, your purses are going down millions of dollars.
You think so?
I do. Unless, yes and no, because if he loses to Tommy Fury and they build up a bigger rivalry and then they have a rematch, that would of course sell. But if he loses to someone that's like, if he would have lost to Tyron Woodley, yeah, he's going down in popularity. He's still going to be in the news. He's going to make money off other shit, I'm sure, because his name is so popular. Mm-hmm. But from a boxing perspective, which I don't even know if he cares about his own boxing perspective, about his own legacy in boxing. But if he does, it would definitely get tarnished the minute you lose your first fight.
I think it's a matter of time before he gets knocked out. I think whoever's picking these fights for him to fight is a fucking genius, and it's not him. His marketing is genius. He sold millions of dollars in Gotcha Hat merch. Sold out in like 15 minutes. He's smart. But he's going to get knocked out. As soon as he fights like a legitimate boxer, which he's going to have to fight sooner or later. Maybe he doesn't even have to.
Maybe he doesn't have to.
He doesn't even fucking have to. Like Floyd Mayweather fought Logan Paul for $100 million. Like, you don't have to.
Do you think the Paul brothers will ever box each other?
No.
Do you think, if they sold some kind of WWE storyline where they actually, like, fucking hate each other, or Jake stole Logan's ex-girlfriend, like, some shit like that, and they actually, like, everybody would know they're lying to promote the fight, but don't you think that would sell like a motherfucker?
Everyone knows WWE lies anyway. So
that would sell.
It would be, if they went to WWE, that would be epic.
Gable Stevenson. I think it's
Gable
Stevenson. I think he's now in WWE. Brock Lesnar, alma mater mate. Both went to the University of Minnesota. Both Olympic wrestlers. Brock never placed. Gable Stevenson, gold medalist. Both collegiate won wrestlers. Actors, Jesus.
Hey, look at The Rock, man.
The Rock didn't even wrestle until Rock was a football player at the University of Miami.
Okay.
The Rock has a national championship from the University of Miami. Did you know
that? That's awesome.
Swear to God, he was a defensive tackle. How funny is that shit?
Wow. Yeah, I've seen like his he has like college football cards out there.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, honestly. Get that autographed. I think, man, Francis Ngannou, man, who's gonna beat
John Jones? John Jones is going to beat Francis Ngannou. That's what I think.
You don't think Ciryl Gane's gonna beat him?
Man.
Ciryl Gane's the fucking favorite. That's what blows my mind.
He has the perfect style, though. He has the perfect style. Listen, as the minute Ngannou tries to throw haymakers, Ciryl Gane's going to back up, just like he did Derek Lewis. He's going to throw leg kicks. You know, if Ciryl Gane wants to take him to the ground, he's going to. I think that Ciryl Gane has a chance, but I think Ngannou will knock out Ciryl Gane. And I don't think he will knock out John Jones. That's what I think. I think John Jones is a warrior, and I'm sure Ciryl Gane is too, but he's not on the level of John Jones, man.
The bookie wants people to bet on Ngannou, bro. Damn, that's tough, man.
It is tough, but at the same time,
like if you're betting style, you go Gane, which it makes sense. It's MMA. But if you're going for that one punch and it's the
I think that Ciryl Gane gets knocked out by Francis Ngannou. I really do. He's only fought 10 times in the UFC, or he's only fought like 4 times in the UFC, 10 times altogether.
He's 10-0.
He's never been in the ring with someone like Ngannou. You could say whatever you want about Derek Lewis. You could say whatever you want.
Derek Lewis, yeah.
Like, he's fought Jairzinho Rozenstruik and Derek Lewis. Both really great fighters, but not cardio guys, not wrestlers. And Ngannou has definitely become a cardio guy, and his wrestling's improved. And he's a better striker than either one of them. He's going from checkers to chess. He's going from checkers to chess. Yeah, and he could make the jump. If anyone could do it from someone inexperienced, Ciryl Gane's one of those guys.
Better bet the deed on him.
On Gane?
No.
Got it. Dude, I would too. I think by the time the fight comes out, even if Gane comes out as the favorite, which I don't know if he really will, I think it's going to be like minus 115 to minus 105. I honestly think that's how it starts. Maybe Gane's the favorite, and then I think it evens out, and Ngannou becomes a little bit of the favorite. It's recency bias. I think that's all it is. Ciryl Gane just absolutely mopped the floor with Derek Lewis, who honestly is overrated anyway.
It is recency bias, it 100% is, but it's also name biased.
What do you mean?
Ngannou.
Right, but if it was name biased, then Ngannou would be the easy favorite.
Gane, 45,000 followers on Twitter. Ngannou, 500,000. Yeah, 60,000. So, who's bringing the fans to the fight?
You could bring all the fans you want to the fight. McGregor brought all the fans to his fights, and look how it started him for 5 years.
I'm just saying what you were just saying.
Right. Ngannou's overwhelming. That's just because Ciryl Gane he hasn't had enough fights.
No, that's just like to recency bias.
Right,
like
okay.
Said. So, I think Ngannou's going to win. Don't get me wrong.
Who do you think wins, John Jones or Ciryl Gane?
Oops. I'll go John Jones, man.
John Jones or Stipe?
John Jones.
I almost want to see Jones Stipe more than I want to see Jones and Ngannou. Like, they're right at the same level for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just because I think
Jones and Ngannou is the fight.
All right, let me ask you this. Jones and Ngannou, what is the over-under? I think it's like
3.5.
Is it 3.5? Could it even be 2.5? It's definitely no more than 3.5. Whereas I think Jones Miocic, the over-under is 4.5 because I think that fight goes to a decision.
Yeah, I think Jones takes him into deep water. It's just like Jones just finds a way to use his elbows, man, and like elbows do so much more damage than a punch. What's so much more damage?
What's crazy is John Jones's elbow is where most people's like mid forearm is. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Mm. He can elbow you from this far away. Just by doing this. He fucking elbows you right in the chin. And the spins are crazy. His leg kicks are amazing. The first guy to really effectively use oblique kicks in the UFC.
Never lost.
He's never lost. He's never fought Francis Ngannou, though. He's never fought Stipe Miocic. He's fought Daniel Cormier twice.
You see what he said about Khabib?
No. What did he say about Khabib? That man can say whatever the fuck he wants about whoever the fuck he wants.
He's like, when Khabib was fighting over in Russia for pennies.
I was fighting for championships.
I was fighting for championships, winning.
Yeah. And he's right.
He's like, when he came over here, I already had what? 10 wins?
Yeah. He did.
You know, he's got 4. He ain't the fucking GOAT.
John Jones has like 14 title victories.
Marketing himself for the next fight so perfectly.
It's not only that, but John Jones was the GOAT at light heavyweight when he was 25 years old.
Yeah.
By the time he was 25, he had beaten Rashad, Rampage, Shogun, Ryan Bader, and maybe Lyoto Machida. By the time he was 25 years old. And then he just kept going. Just kept going. Just fucking one after the other. Win. Gets down to Gustafsson twice, Cormier twice, Belfort, Dominic Reyes, Thiago Santos, the next 2 guys up that were supposed to beat him and never did, even though both of them came really fucking close.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be very weird to see John Jones knocked out in the UFC octagon.
Oh my God, I would cry.
Be like, oh, legacy.
Listen, I don't care.
Because then it's not the greatest UFC fighter ever, I don't think. I think
he is.
No, he still is.
Right, I think he is.
But
especially if he gets knocked out by
the naysayers are always going to say
there will absolutely
he's the best light heavyweight.
Right. Pound for pound, he's not. They would probably say like GSP or Khabib.
So pound for pound. You could say pound for pound is GSP because he's dominated in more divisions.
I don't know if I'd say that. He's dominated. He had one fight ever in
not
middleweight.
At a high level.
He dominated one fight ever in middleweight, and it was against a 38-year-old Michael Bisping.
Yes. He knew he was going to win that fight.
Right, exactly.
I think, man, what a fight, man. What a fucking...
I will say this. How much
did you pay for that pay-per-view?
John Jones versus Ngannou? Is that what you're saying? How much would I pay for the pay-per-view? I would pay the regular amount. I wouldn't pay more than that. How much would I pay 90? To go to the event? How much would you pay to sit front row in John Jones versus Ngannou?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't lay down like 3 bags to go see Jones and Ngannou?
I'd rather buy a car.
Dude, to see that shit in person. What if you got a deal, you got like $1,500 to go sit front row against John Jones versus Ngannou?
Yeah, I'd do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. What do you mean? If I got a deal, then you got to sit behind Shaq.
Dude, you're literally
got to sit behind Shaq.
Dude, like Jorge Masvidal's like 5 seats away from you.
Yeah.
You got Dana White like over there. You can hear Joe Rogan commentating. You got John Jones and Francis Ngannou in fucking front of you. Crowd cheering. Madison Square Garden. Oh, it would be $1,500. It would be so much more than $1,500. But holy shit, that would be an experience. That would be like the greatest night ever. You imagine that? Can you imagine?
I think you're imagining.
Can you imagine Francis Ngannou knocking out John Jones cold in front of you? Like, right here on the cage in front of you. You just.
I'd be like, well, night. I'd be like, we gotta.
Yeah, I guess it's a long drive home.
I know. I'm just gonna say we're definitely driving.
Traffic.
Definitely driving.
Oh my
wow.
God.
That's why you need to keep your car, so you can just take that for whatever.
That would be. Like, I would not go to any other sporting events for that entire year if I could go to that.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't go to the Red Sox for multiple years if I could go to that.
Nah.
I would. Yeah. I would sit out 3 years of the Red Sox to be able to go to that.
Yeah, we can go to the Red Sox for like $90.
I don't care. That would be the biggest spectacle I'd ever see.
Indy's going to be fun.
Yeah, Indy's going to be fun. We're going to take one more commercial break, and then we're going to finish up. We got like 10 minutes left, and then we're going to go catch some football. So you're watching MMA Complete Podcast, brought to you by Fans Only Sports, Naked Sports. Go check us out on YouTube at MMA Complete Podcast, and on Twitter at Complete_MMA. Go give us a follow. We'll be right back. All right, so closing thoughts, episode 63. I kind of want to talk about. I got 2 fights I want to talk about. We got Volkanovski Ortega coming up in 3 weeks. That's obviously going to be a huge. It's 2.5 weeks actually. 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. That's going to be an amazing fight. I really think that's going to be a 5-round barn burner, but. We got 2 more weeks to talk about it, and we can talk about it because Mark and Dylan will probably be here next week. So I think we should save that. I want to get early conversations on Usman Covington. We haven't talked about it too much. We talked about that we know Usman's going to win, or we think Usman's going to win. But we haven't really talked too much about the fight. And I mean, we've been talking about Usman for the better part of 2 years now because he's just been the man. But is Colby the most dangerous challenger to Kamaru Usman?
He has been so far.
You think more than Gilbert Burns?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't care if Gilbert Burns rocked him. Kobe took him into deep water.
He did.
I just think Usman has improved. And it's crazy to say, but the guy changed coaches only a couple fights ago. He's a total
he moved
not a total different fighter, he's just an improved
He moved
fighter.
to the beginning of this year.
Yeah, so I mean,
is this his 4th fight this year?
3rd?
Burns, Masvidal the 2nd time, Covington 3rd. Okay.
Yeah, or Masvidal back to back, right?
Yeah, but the first one I believe was October of last year.
Yeah. So this is 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Usman is he's the most active champion. I'll give him that. Yep. I think he's the most active champion. Because he knows that no one can beat him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not stupid. He's not going to take a fight that he can lose. And he doesn't think he can lose. Yeah, I think I got Usman, man.
You got what?
Usman by...
You got it by stoppage or
decision? TKO.
Usman by another TKO.
Yeah.
If he TKOs...
Is he not submitting him?
Masvidal, or if he TKOs Covington, decision by Masvidal... TKO's Burns, TKO's Masvidal, TKO's Covington. That is quite a fucking.
He's gonna knock him. I think he's gonna knock him out cold.
Do like he did Masvidal?
Yeah.
Kobe's never been knocked out. Kobe's only ever loss was against Usman that first time.
Jorge was never knocked out either.
Right.
See how many times he fought. I think he knocks him out, man. I really, really, really do.
I think Usman wins. I think Colby has the best chance to do it because Colby has the best conditioning in that division. I think that Colby has a better conditioning than Usman. I know that's a big fucking statement to make, but I really do. Because if you go into that 5th round, Colby was more active. He wasn't doing better, but he was more active than Covington. With a broken jaw, down 3 rounds to 1. he was more active, which you could say whatever you want about adrenaline. That's what you have to do when you're losing a fight in the 5th round of a title fight. That makes sense. But Colby just kept going. Colby also absolutely demolished Tyron Woodley. And now in hindsight, that's not really a big deal. But he out-wrestled one of the best wrestlers in that division. And he did it flawlessly through 5 rounds, fucking him up the whole time.
He did.
It's quite convincing.
Yeah.
And now you go against a guy like Usman, who Covington, the first fight, no takedowns at all. And then you go to Tyron Woodley, where he had like 4 takedowns.
Yeah. I don't know.
There has to be a point. We've talked about this so many times on the podcast. Usman no one has attempted to take Usman down in 6 fights. They haven't even attempted to. Masvidal clinched him a bunch of times, but he didn't attempt a single takedown. There has to be a point where someone just has to say, fuck it, let's go for it and try it. And I get that Usman's so fucking jacked that his takedown defense has got to be ridiculous, and he's got to be great on the ground. I get that. But he's been training with a boxer for the last year. His head coach is a boxer. He's not a wrestler, where he used to be. Because he used to be at the Black Zillions. That's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym where you're training on the ground all the time. Now you're boxing. And I'm sure he's been incorporating his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu. But Colby has been absolutely working on his wrestling for the last 5 years. Like, you got to at least attempt it, man. You're not going to be able to stand in front of this dude for 5 rounds. You're going to get laid out, or you're going to get jacked, or you're going to get tired. Colby got jacked.
I don't think Colby can knock him out, man.
I don't think he can knock him out. I know he can't knock him out. But Colby has the ability. It's not likely, but he has the ability not only to submit him, but to throw and land more strikes than Usman. Yeah, I think he's capable of just landing strikes, hitting him with jabs. Yeah. And that's the only way I see anyone beating Usman, because I don't see anyone taking him down and tapping him out. Only person I see knocking out Kamaru Usman is Gilbert Burns. It's the only person I could see do it. Jorge could, but who knows when we're going to see Jorge Usman 3, if ever.
Yeah. Probably never.
You got Wonder Boy Thompson could.
Yeah.
Connor could if he ever went up to welterweight, but I don't think he would even fucking touch Usman before Usman knocked his ass out or brought him to the ground. So, I mean, Colby, he has to. I think he goes for a takedown in this fight because no one's done it, and you got to try it. You got to just see where Usman's at. Literally, we haven't seen Usman on his back in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Or 4 years. But I think Colby could put a pace on him and just keep hitting him. But all it takes is that one fucking straight from Usman or that one jab. He's the best fighter in the world. He's the best fighter in the world. He is, I would say he's GSP at his prime, but he's better. He's Anderson Silva at his prime. I really believe that. No one can touch him. And Usman doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would get cocky enough to.
I just think he's going to win by TKO, man. Like, I don't.
Yeah? All right. You go with this?
I don't know what else to say.
Okay. All right. We can finish it up then. Thank you for watching MMA Complete Podcast number 63. September 9th is in the books. There's no fight night this weekend.
over Ortega, too.
Yeah, I got Volkanovski over Ortega. Next weekend, we should be back at our regular time, 8 o'clock, but we might stay at 7. So if you want to know when we're going live, go follow us at Complete
MMA. Staying at 7?
I don't know.
I'm staying at 7.
So go follow us at Complete MMA, where we'll be tweeting out everything that you need to know about our next weekly podcast.
Yeah. Going to be tweeting about football, too.
Next fight night is Anthony Smith, Ryan Spann. That's a good one. I believe Ion Cutelaba is on the co-main event, so there's a couple decent fights on that. UFC 266 is on September 25th. That's Volkanovski Ortega. That is... What's the fucking co-main event? Shevchenko, Lauren Murphy, and Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler. So that's going to be a great fight. Plus, so many other fights. UFC 266 is going to be such a good fight. Night. It's such a good pay-per-view. So go and check us out wherever you're watching this now. NakedSports.com, FansOnlySports.com, MMA Complete Podcast, @Complete_MMA. Follow us on Twitter, and go follow Naked Sports and FansOnlySports.com on Twitter, where you can watch any of these.
Heck yeah.
And that's all I got. That's all I got. Yeah. You're about to try to go knock, or you're going to the casino, so I'm going to end it here.
No, we're going to the bar.
Yeah, we are going to the bar. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Check us out next Thursday. Follow us at Twitter, @Complete_MMA. We will be back next week, and we'll be back for every pay-per-view 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Thank you.